Have you ever posted something online and then kept checking your phone every 2 minutes? You tell yourself, I'm not waiting for likes. But the moment your phone buzzes, your brain goes, ooh, someone noticed me. And if the post gets a lot of likes, you feel amazing. But if it gets ignored, suddenly you start wondering, was it stupid? Welcome to the strange world of validation, something almost every human secretly craves. But here's the real question. Why do we crave validation so much? And more importantly, why does someone else's opinion have the power to affect our mood so much? Let's talk about it, because once you understand this, a lot of your thoughts and behaviors will suddenly make sense. First, let's be honest about something. Humans are social creatures, like extremely social. Thousands of years ago, our ancestors lived in tribes. Being part of the group meant safety, food, protection. But if the tribe rejected you, that was basically a death sentence. So our brains evolved with a very simple rule. If people accept you, you survive. And even though today we have supermarkets, Wi-Fi, and food delivery apps, our brain is still running that ancient survival software. So when someone approves of us, our brain celebrates. When someone ignores or criticizes us, our brain goes into panic mode. Your brain doesn't think, relax, bro, it's just Instagram. It thinks, the tribe doesn't like you. And that's why validation feels so powerful. But validation isn't always obvious. Sometimes it's very subtle. For example, you wear a new outfit. You're feeling confident. Then someone says, wow, nice shirt. Suddenly, you feel extra confident. But if nobody notices, you quietly start wondering, maybe it wasn't that good. Even though 5 minutes ago you liked it. See what happened there? Your opinion about yourself changed based on someone else's reaction. That's validation at work. Let's take another funny example. Imagine you cook something for your family. You worked hard. You followed the recipe. You even watched 3 YouTube tutorials. Then everyone takes a bite, and there's silence, just chewing. No reaction. At that moment, your brain is screaming, please say something. Finally, someone says, it's nice. And suddenly, your whole mood improves, not because the food changed, but because you received validation. Now, here's where things get interesting. Validation isn't just emotional, it's actually chemical. When someone approves of us, our brain releases dopamine, the same feel-good chemical linked to rewards. It's the same system triggered by things like winning a game, eating chocolate, or getting a message from someone you like. That's why getting likes, comments, or compliments feels so satisfying. Your brain literally treats it like a reward. And once the brain tastes that reward, it wants it again, and again, and again. Which is why people check their notifications like it's a treasure chest. Maybe there's another like. Maybe someone commented. Maybe someone noticed me. It's basically dopamine fishing. But here's the tricky part. Validation can slowly become a habit, and sometimes even an addiction. You start doing things not because you like them, but because other people will approve of them. For example, posting photos that you think will get more likes, buying things just because they look impressive, agreeing with people even when you secretly disagree, or pretending to enjoy something because everyone else does. At that point, life becomes less about being yourself and more about being approved, and that's exhausting. Here's another funny but real situation. Imagine you tell a joke in a group. Everyone laughs. You feel like a comedy genius. But if nobody laughs, suddenly your brain says, why did you even open your mouth? Same joke, same words, different reaction, different feeling. That's validation again. But here's the important truth. Craving validation is completely normal. Every human wants to feel seen, heard, appreciated. It's part of being human. The problem isn't wanting validation. The problem starts when we depend on it too much, when our self-worth becomes a voting system. If people approve, we feel good. If they don't, we feel bad. That's like letting the internet control your happiness. And honestly, the internet can't even agree on pizza toppings, so maybe it shouldn't decide your value. Now think about people who seem confident, the ones who say weird ideas, wear unusual clothes, or share opinions that not everyone agrees with. They're not confident because everyone approves of them. They're confident because they don't rely on approval as much. They still enjoy compliments, but they don't need them to feel okay. And that's a huge difference. Here's a simple way to understand it. Validation is like dessert. It's nice, it makes life sweeter, but if dessert becomes your main meal, things get unhealthy. Your main source of self-worth should come from inside. Validation from others should just be a bonus, not the fuel. So next time you catch yourself checking your phone for the 10th time or wondering what people think about you, just remember something simple. Your brain isn't broken. It's just running ancient software designed for survival. But today, survival doesn't depend on likes, compliments, or approval. You're allowed to enjoy validation. Just don't let it control you. Because the moment you stop chasing approval, something interesting happens. You start doing things because you actually want to. And strangely enough, that's usually when people start respecting you the most. Funny how that works. So the next time someone likes your post, enjoy it. Smile. Take the dopamine. But remember, your value was already there before